Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Ryan Bearden and I am so happy to have you join me today. And I'm going to talk about AI and writing. I know. That is a very touchy subject for many of you out there, and I get it. Of the last couple of years, I've worked with people who consider themselves writing purists who fought tooth and nail to ensure AI never touched any aspect of their writing process. I've also worked with people on the other end of the spectrum who probably relied a little bit too much on AI for their authentic writing. Well, today I'm not here to argue one of those points over the other, but what I am here to suggest is that you can bring AI into your writer's room. You can have it be a part of your writing team versus just having it do your writing. All right, so what does that mean? So first, we're going to talk about how AI can be a writing coach, where it's going to help come in and diagnose strengths and weaknesses of your writing and give you actionable feedback. Number two, we're going to show you how AI can be your researcher, how it can go find relevant claims that are going to support your perspective, support your point of view. And number three, I'm going to show you how you can use AI as your finisher or your publisher, where you can take your polished written content, repurpose it, and optimize for various channels. So before we jump in, there's just a few guardrails that I want to implement here to ensure that I'm maintaining the highest quality possible. That first one is sources and dates. If we're going to go find sources and we're going to cite those sources, we're going to make darn sure that they're relevant as well, right? That they're recent and they're relevant. Number two, voice guardrails. Okay, so what does that mean? We're going to have AI adapt to our brand voice, our tone, not the other way around. And guardrail number three is all about fact checking. Yes, we're going to go find these sources. Yes, we're going to go find great quotes, but we're going to fact check them and make sure that they are in fact relevant and that they are in fact real. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. So I am going to share my screen here, and in our first demonstration here, we're going to show how AI is going to be our writing coach. And here's the reality. Most first and even second drafts aren't really that bad, right? But just sometimes they're a little blurry. And what a writing coach is going to do is it's going to come in and it's going to help us score things like audience fit, structure, evidence, things like that. And so I'm going to show you exactly what I mean here with our very first prompt. Not only is it going to do that, it's going to actually give us some opportunities to where do we go fix it. So let's go with our first prompt here. And what you'll notice is my prompt here is I'm asking it to act as a writing coach, evaluate my draft for audience fit, clarity, structure, evidence, specificity, and momentum. And for the output, I'm asking for three sections: keep, strengthen, and fix, and then give me a prioritized 10-step revision plan on how to go and improve it. And on my draft here, what I did is I wrote 2 paragraphs here all around the idea of developing AI skills for B2B marketing teams. And think of this as my beginning of an article or a blog post, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and run this prompt. And what it's doing, here's the initial evaluation. It's giving us, again, keep, audience fit. This piece speaks directly to marketing leaders with ROI-focused language. Very cool. Clarity of core message. Momentum in the second paragraph, strong progression from automation, insights, optimization. And then it's giving me some areas to strengthen. Terms like efficiency gain, hidden insights, complex challenges, they're vague. They use asking me to use concrete examples. Makes perfect sense. I would completely agree with that. Audience nuance. Mid-market B2B leaders worry about practical adoption, integration with existing tech stacks, etc. This draft is written at a higher conceptual level. Okay, that's really great feedback. And then it's given me some specific areas to fix. Intro reads generic and buzzword heavy. Redundancy, both paragraphs repeat the same thing. Momentum taper. The second paragraph ends on standard business practices. So now we're going to get into some prioritization of fixes here. And so the first, it's given me 10-step prioritized revision plan. In the first 5, it's actually given me some examples of how I could improve that, right? Bring in external proof or client examples. In Deloitte survey, 77% of high growth companies. So again, giving me some really great feedback, some really great recommendations. Reframe ROI examples to practical B2B metrics, etc. You can see here, this is really good stuff that we're getting. And the one thing I want you to pay really close attention to is looking at this is not rewriting. This is not ghostwriting for me. This is like coaching. I'm being coached on my writing. I'm being given feedback. They're not just taking it and redoing it for me. Very important thing to understand. Okay, so let's jump into our next prompt here. We're going to jump into having AI be our researcher. And so let me get my prompt and stick it in here. And then again, keeping with the same theme of AI and B2B marketing, that is my stance here. I want you to act as an expert researcher and go research AI and B2B marketing to support my stance, which I've included below. Provide 6 credible recent sources, 2 opposing sources, create a quote bank, and end with claim evidence map tying each claim to sources, right? So this is going to give us a very organized, clean way that we can identify which are the best quotes that we can use. So we're going to go ahead and run this. I mean, at the end of the day, great structure and great stories and great perspectives, they need validation. We want to include sources. That's how we want to keep it as strong as possible. So here it's running. It's doing some little bit thinking, right? Because I'm asking it to actually pull sources. So it's going to take a little bit longer, which is okay. I want it to take longer. I want it to take its time to find the most relevant, incredible sources. So as this is running, a few things that I'm going to be looking for when it does give me my output is, listen, dates matter, relevancy matter, especially when you're dealing with fast-moving topics, I'll call it, right? Especially around AI and business, right? If I'm looking for sources and quotes around AI and business, things that are 15 to 18 months old, I'm going to proceed with caution or just dismiss those altogether because it changes at a lightning speed, as we all know. And I want to make sure that my sources, my quotes, my data is as relevant as possible. And number 2, we always want to click through and check these sources. I'll show you that here in 1 second. But we always want to make sure, A, they are actually real articles and real sources that we're pulling from, and B, that their actual context of what they're pulling the quote from is relevant to us. So here we can start to get our output. Supportive evidence, 6 recent credible sources. Gen AI's ROI. McKinsey & Company, April 30, 2025. So right off the bat, we've got a credible source, McKinsey, and we've got a very recent date. And so what I'm going to do, and here's the finding: across functions, a growing share of regular Gen AI users reported over 10% revenue increase. Okay, cool. That seems like a pretty good thing. Let's go ahead and click on this. And let's decline optional cookie options. And so here's a McKinsey article. And we've got lots of good information here, things that we can go in and check out. We can skim this, but we've got some good details and good information. Couple other ones: B2B buying in the age of Gen AI. Good. Forrester, again, another very credible source. Harvard Business Review here, routers, all things that I would call really good sources here. And let's just click on another one of these. IBM says use of Adobe AI tools in marketing boosted productivity. So let's just click on this article and make sure that it's, yes, exactly right. It's from March of last year, right? So now we're a little bit older. Like this is one from well over a year ago. So I would probably hesitate to use this one. I'd go through it in a little bit more detail, but probably would discard that one. Now, why would we ask for counterpoints, opposing evidence? Well, if we're going to have a strong perspective, a strong point of view on something, it's going to make it stronger if we identify and recognize that there's going to be opposing perspectives, opposing points of view. I want to get ahead of those, right? I want to do quote unquote objection handling through my content by addressing it head on in the piece. I don't want to leave any questions, unanswered questions for my reader. So we've got a couple of opposing points here. Generative AI enhances individual creativity but reduces collective diversity of novel content. Okay, not sure I know this article or this publication very well, but that's okay. Here's a World Federation of Advertisers. 80% of brands have concerns about agency use of Gen AI. Again, this one's about a year old, and this one's over a year old. So these two, I would probably go back and say, hey, go find me some other ones. So here's our quote bank. Gen AI is delivering measurable financial results. Marketers are prioritizing AI implementation over all other initiatives this year. So again, here's a good list of quotes. And as you can see, Forrester, HBR, routers, MIT. There's a lot of really good sources here. So I feel very good about that. And then claim evidence map, claim number 1. This was my number 1 claim in my particular stance. And now it's given me some evidence to support that, right? So we start with general supporting sources and articles. We get some opposing ones. Then we get a bank of quotes right here that looks like that we can use here. And then finally, we're actually taking those claims and we're tying it back to, or taking that evidence, and tying it back to our claims. So very cool stuff. All right, so now what we're going to do, and by the way, it gave us a here's our week outdated items to avoid or footnote, and some better replacements. So a lot of very good information here. And again, at no point is this rewriting anything of ours. At no point is it doing that. All right, so our final demo, what we're going to do here is now we are going to do packaging. So let me go back up here. Let me put our third and final prompt in here. Packages finalized piece for 3 channels: LinkedIn, which can include a hook plus 5 bullets and CTA, newsletter, YouTube description. Maintain my voice and give me a thing for each channel. So now I'm going to hit go. Here's your research-backed piece package cleanly for each channel. Most B2B marketing teams still treat AI as a future project. That delay is costing pipeline today. So this is our LinkedIn post, less than 180 words with our hook. Here's what the research shows. Here's a little blurb, and then here is our CTA, right? And again, these are all really great starts. It helped us to really crystallize our first draft, right? Really find areas where it was strength, where it was strong, where it was weak, where we should improve it. Then it went and found us sources that would help support our perspective, support our point of view. And now that it's helping us repurpose this, right? In the real world, what I would do is I would take some of that feedback from the first prompt we ran, and I would make the decision, am I going to go incorporate this? How am I going to incorporate this, right? So again, the main point of all of this is I'm not having AI do any writing for me. I'm having AI support me by being my coach, being my researcher, and then helping me to repackage this content. So anyway, I hope this was really helpful for you. I hope you got a lot out of this. And I would be more than happy to meet with you if you want to learn more about how to do this. I know it's nuanced, gang, and I know there's a lot of really strong perspectives and opinions around AI and writing, but I'd like to think of this as how you can incorporate the power of AI into your writing process starting today. So again, if you would like to get the prompts that we use today, I'm more than happy to send them to you. Please go to my website here and subscribe to my newsletter, and I'll be more than happy to send them on to you. And if you just want to connect and learn more about how I can help you harness the power of AI in your marketing work or any other work, I would love to hear from you. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Take care.